Welcome to Wordpath, the show about Oklahoma Indian languages and the people who are teaching and preserving them. Tonight our topic is linguistic fieldwork. And I'm not exactly going to show you real linguistic fieldwork, but we're going to sort of talk about some of the issues that come up when linguists do fieldwork. By fieldwork I mean these kind of sessions where a linguist or someone behaving as a linguist, whether they have a degree or not, someone who is investigating the language, will sit down with a native speaker of the language. In the very beginning stages, you simply will ask, how do you say book? How do you say chair? How do you say table? How do you say hello? Various things. You usually start with just a word or a very simple phrase, and linguists typically take their notes in International Phonetic Alphabet so they can get all the little nuances of the sound, and they spend quite a bit of time on that until they're satisfied that their ear is attuned to the language and they know what sounds to listen for and so forth. And then they start getting into the structure of phrases and sentences and experimenting with the language, asking how to say different things. But they don't just ask in a random kind of way. It's all very organized usually. So they might work on subject pronouns one day or plurals of nouns or tenses of verbs or whatever the topic might be. They usually work in kind of groups of questions of that sort. It's very organized and it takes a lot of training to do this well. We're not here to teach you how to do that tonight, but really to talk about a whole lot of, well, much more general issues that are related to the doing of field work, both for the investigator or linguist and for the native speaker. Each of them, for this kind of session to go really well and to be most beneficial, each one has to have a realistic expectation of what goes on, and they have to have a certain attitude of mutual respect and a lot of patience. Patience is very high on the list of what you need in a linguistic field session. It also kind of addresses the nature of language in general. Thank goodness, because we all need to learn to speak a language in the first few years of life. Thank goodness language is mostly very regular. We don't have 18,000 ways to form the plurals of all the nouns in English. We have basically 2 or 3 ways, technically, 2 or 3 different sound changes that you put on the end of a noun to make a noun plural in English. And so really you just need to learn a few small patterns and you can handle almost all of the nouns. So, and it's the same with tenses. Usually there are 1 or 2 forms you learn which one to put on which kind of word, and then you can handle all the verbs in the language. Irregularity is a massive feature of any human language, and yet irregularity in a way is too. Every language has irregular forms, surprises, idioms, little idiosyncratic things that you wouldn't expect. And often the linguist finds himself sitting there thinking, well, now what's the pattern here? I'm missing something, I'm missing something. Sometimes what it comes down to is they're not missing something. That's just one of the quirks of the language. Every language has quirks. That's one of the things we'll be illustrating tonight. So language is both very regular and yet fraught with irregularities and surprises and puzzles and mysteries. We're also going to kind of hint at some of the socio-political issues that can come up in this kind of work. Typically, the person who's investigating is someone with a college degree in linguistics, so they're very middle class. They're most often white, certainly not always, but that sometimes is part of the stereotype, I'll put it that way. The native speaker of the language, if we're talking about Oklahoma Indian languages, is obviously an Indian person. They may or may not be an educated person. Very often the people that linguists like to work with most to really find the real true traditional language is people who haven't had a whole lot of contact with majority culture. They'll tend to be not very educated in the sense of college educated. They may not be very high-tech oriented, very modern in their lifestyle and all of this. So there's often quite a clash of lifestyles and backgrounds and sort of one's sense of who one is in the world. So right away you can see there's a need for great sensitivity, especially on the part of the linguist. You hear stories about linguists being insensitive or rude or looking down on the speaker or something. I've never personally known anyone who acted like that I've witnessed. I'm sure these stories exist because there are cases where it has happened. And it's part of every linguist training in field methods, which is what the course is usually called, that teaches you how to do field work. It's part of their training to try to remember how difficult this can be for the native speaker and how perplexing some of your questions may be, to try not to use too many technical terms and try not to have it be always your agenda and you're in charge. And try to put a little humanity in it and have a lot of patience yourself and try to put yourself in the other person's shoes a little bit. So these are some of the issues that we're going to be addressing today. Of course, on the other hand, the native speaker may find that it helps if the native speakers kind of understand a little bit about what linguistics is and how linguists work, too, so that they can be a little bit sensitive and so it won't drive them quite so crazy if they know what it means to look for a grammatical pattern in language, and that sometimes you have to ask question after question after question. So patience is required on both sides. Now, so tonight we're going to set up a situation. This is admittedly artificial, because normally if I were, as a linguist, were doing field work, I would ask someone, well, how do you say this in Cherokee or Iowa or whatever the language might be? And this person who speaks both languages will supply the information, and I'll take notes and try to see how this language is put together. Tonight, just so that all the information will be accessible to everyone watching, both the questions and the answers will be all in English. So this is kind of an artificial thing we're doing. But I think if you'll bear with us, you'll kind of see what we're talking about. The overall theme is that some language questions are very hard to answer, and some things that really occur in real human languages are very hard to figure out. In fact, sometimes there is no answer. Now, normally, as I said, in fieldwork, one starts just with asking simple words, usually singular nouns or something like that, and you kind of build up from there to more and more complex structures. We're going to assume tonight in this little illustration that we're at least several sessions into the fieldwork. So let's take a look at how linguistic fieldwork sometimes goes. Well, Dr. Jordan, what are we going to talk about this morning?
Well, I thought about a couple of things, but I finally decided maybe we'll start out with a little bit of work on plurals. How do you feel about that?
Okay, I guess.
Okay. Now, for book, you have one book. How do you say two?
Books.
Books. Okay.
That's right. Good.
I'm learning. I'm getting much better. Okay, one hat.
Two hats. Now you say it.
Oh, okay. One boy, two boys.
Boys. Two boys.
Okay.
It's the same thing.
I guess it would be one hat, two hats.
No. One hat, two hats.
Okay, one hat, two hats.
Hats.
Okay. Okay, one pencil, two
pencils.
Okay, one child, two childs.
Now that one will throw you. One child, two children. It's just a special word. You try it. Two children.
Children.
That's good.
Okay. One woman, two womans.
No, that's another special one. Two women.
Two women? Okay, maybe we'll move on to something else, but we'll leave plurals alone for a while.
Okay.
There seems to be some kind of something special going on there. Hold on, let's make sure that we're recording you right here. Okay. Now, which one of these two forms is correct? I have a couple of different things written for this. Do you say often or often?
Often.
Okay.
Some people say often, but they're not right.
That's very odd. Okay, neither or neither.
You could say that either way. I say neither.
Okay.
Some people say neither. That's okay too.
Well, now, what's the difference?
No, it's just, I don't know, it's the same.
Okay.
Some people say one, some say the other.
Okay. Okay. Is it how about Happy New Year or Happy New Year's?
You mean when it's New Year's Day and you want to wish somebody?
Yeah.
Say Happy New Year.
Happy New Year? Okay. Well, Mrs. Brown says Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year's, you mean? Some people say Happy New Year's, I guess. Yeah, I have heard that.
Okay.
I say Happy New Year.
So she's not wrong. She just...
Well, no, I mean...
Okay.
She speaks English. It's just, it's just a little different.
Okay.
Some people say one, some say the other,
So I guess for Christmas you could say Merry Christmas or Merry Christmases.
No, that one doesn't work. It's just Merry Christmas.
But why? So I guess Christmas is plural because it has an S on the end of it already.
I don't know about that.
So would you say like Merry Christmas and Merry Christmas?
No. Oh, now you're getting way off track.
Okay.
Now, okay, say it's New Year's. I say, Happy New Year. Some people say Happy New Year's. Now, say it's Christmas. You just say, Merry Christmas. That's all. Nothing else. Only Merry Christmas.
Okay.
It's the way it is. I don't know why it is, but,
Okay.
it's the only way I know to say it.
Well, maybe we'll move on to something else now. Okay. Well, last night I went over to somebody's house to eat, and they gave me what they called seafood, but it came from a lake. I don't understand.
That's where it comes from, the lake or the ocean.
Okay. So you all consider...
I don't get it. What's wrong?
So all bodies of water are considered seas. Is that because Oklahoma is inland? It's in the middle of the country?
I think you're losing me there.
Okay.
Seafood, that's like fish, clams, shrimp, lobster. It comes from the sea. That's why they call it seafood.
Okay. I think I understand. Okay.
Well, sometimes it comes out of a river or something. They still call it seafood. I don't know why that is. I never thought about that before.
It's interesting.
It's just all seafood.
Well, so while I was there, I was feeling very, very much like eating, but I didn't know how to let them know that I wanted to eat. How would I say to somebody that I wanted to eat? Or that,
You would say you're hungry.
Okay, so I should have said, you're hungry.
No, not me, you.
Okay. Yeah, you're hungry.
I'm not hungry.
Okay.
Now, wait a minute. I just ate.
Okay.
Who's hungry?
You're hungry.
You mean you're hungry? Who's hungry, Linda or Alice?
Linda's hungry.
Oh, then you're hungry.
Yeah, you're hungry.
No. Boy, I never knew this language was so confusing. No, Linda is at somebody's house. Linda gets hungry. Linda says, I'm hungry.
So it's I'm hungry. Okay, well, let me make a note of that now. So we have like a subalternating paradigm of some kind. What do you think about that?
I don't know. You can call it whatever you want.
Okay. So you're from Oklahoma. You're a person from Oklahoma.
Me? Yeah.
Okay. So that makes you an Oklahoman.
That's right. That's the word, Oklahoman. That's somebody from Oklahoma.
Okay. And so somebody from Kansas is a Kansan.
Yeah, Kansan.
Good.
That's right.
And somebody from...
You're catching on.
This is yeah, it's making a little more sense. But what do you call somebody from Idaho? Idahoan?
See, what do you call that? Somebody from Idaho. I'm an Oklahoman, but you're a... I think it's Idahoan.
Okay, so somebody from Mexico.
That one's different. I don't know why.
Okay, well, so that would make somebody from Mexico a Mexicoan.
Excuse me, Dr. Jordan. Sometimes you just say the funniest thing. Mexicoan, no, that's no word in my language. Somebody from Mexico is Mexican.
They're Mexican? Okay.
Oklahoman, Kansan, Mexican, it's all the same.
Okay. Okay, so somebody from Illinois is an Illinois.
Oh, it's not... Wait a minute now. Somebody from where?
Illinois.
Oh, no, you're not saying that quite right. That's Illinois.
Yeah, Illinois.
Illinois.
Okay.
There's no S on the end. Illinois.
Illinois.
Yeah, that might be a little bit better, but you haven't quite got it yet.
Okay. Maybe
Somebody from there, gosh, I don't know what they're called. I guess I'd just call him a person from Illinois.
A person from Illinois.
Illinois. You have to study up on that one a little bit more, Dr. Jordan.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Okay, maybe we could work on this. Okay, so this town is Norman. And what do you call people from Norman?
Normanites.
And people from
I'm
Oklahoma?
a Normanite.
You're a Normanite. Okay. And people from Oklahoma City are Oklahoma Cityites?
No, doesn't work that way. Oklahoma, what do you say now? Oklahoma Cityan.
Oklahoma
I
City.
think that's what it is.
Okay. Anadarko.
You better take these down. This is getting
Yeah, this is really pretty
complicated.
This is very complex.
See, Normanite, Oklahoma Cityan. I guess usually you just say somebody from Oklahoma City.
Okay.
Or Oklahoma City person.
Oklahoma City person.
That would work.
Yeah. Okay. So it would be an Anadarko person.
Oh yeah, I guess you could say that way. Anadarko. Now what do you call them? I'm a Normanite. He's an Anadarko person. I don't know. I don't know if they have a special word for it. I guess you just say Anadarko person. Or you say he's from Anadarko.
Okay, so for people from Bartlesville, you would say he's from Bartlesville.
Yeah, you could say that, but actually, I like to call them Bartians.
Bartians?
Yeah.
That's
Make sure
really-
you know that guy from Bartlesville that we met the other day. Next time you see him, you make sure you tell him that he's a Bartian. He'll like that.
Okay.
Normanite Bartian.
Okay, this is very interesting. This is very complicated. Okay, well, now...
There's a lot of different cities. I don't know if they're all different or what.
Let's move on to verbs. Okay.
Okay.
Now, and we'll talk about doing things with different objects. And this is an object. And now, what do you call this?
That's a screwdriver.
Okay. And you screw things in with it.
Yeah, like you screw in a screw with it.
Okay, and so the first person is I. And
What do you mean
so
the first person?
if I use the screwdriver, I would say I am screwing.
Oh, yeah, I guess you would. It just sounds kind of funny.
That's interesting. So it's an irregular verb of some kind.
Well, maybe you should say I'm screwing it or something. I don't know. It sounds kind of funny. You might want to be careful with that one. I don't know how to explain it, but maybe you should just nail it.
Just nail it?
Yeah.
So you can nail with a screwdriver?
No, you nail with the hammer. That's when you go wham, wham. You can say I'm nailing. That'd be okay.
Okay.
If you say the other one, it sounds kind of questionable.
Okay, so your language doesn't distinguish between nailing and screwing.
Excuse me. Well, I don't know how to explain it really. Maybe we better talk about something else.
Okay.
Have you seen Jeannie lately?
Now, I haven't seen Jeannie lately. No, I haven't. But I
haven't
did
seen
go.
her for a long time.
Now, I did go see a play last night, and there was something really interesting that I saw there too. Now, I know you all talk about people who write things, and you call them authors.
Author, that's a good word.
Okay.
Good pronunciation too. A lot of people have trouble with that sound. That
Yeah.
author is somebody who writes something.
Okay, so somebody
Pretty
who
good.
writes a play is an author.
Well, no, actually it's different. If they write a play, then you call them playwright. An author writes a book. A playwright writes a play.
Well, then
So
why?
you always make that distinction. This book you got here, that was written by an author. But when you went to see the play, that a playwright wrote that.
Okay.
It's always different. It's very clear. That's one thing. That's one thing I understand about my language.
But why, at the end of the play, were people in the audience asking for author then? They should have been saying playwright.
Huh. I don't know.
Hmm.
They do that. I don't know why they do that. That's a funny thing. I guess it's just traditional. I don't know.
Well, we'll investigate that. We'll
That
talk
seemed
about
funny.
that. Yeah.
Well, you make me think about things in a real different way. I never thought about that before.
Well, let's move on to something else.
Okay.
You
sure this thing is working?
Yeah, I'm sure it's working. I'm sure. It's just, maybe we'll get a little bit up closer to you.
Oh, well.
Here, maybe you might want to hold it for a while.
Is this all right?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Okay. Snow good. Somebody said snow good. I heard somebody saying snow good. So
I don't think that's English. That must be some other language. Snow good. It sounds kind of like English, but it doesn't mean anything in English.
snow good.
I don't think so.
Snow good. Huh. Yeah, they were saying snow good at all.
Oh, snow good at all. Oh. Well, that's kind of like a little slangy. It's like, they were really saying it's no good at all. But they were just pronouncing it a little different.
Good. Okay.
It's no
Okay.
good. You know what good is, right?
Yeah.
It's no good at all.
So they weren't talking about snow.
No, it's nothing to do with snow.
Okay.
I guess it does kind of sound like it now that you mention it.
Okay, that makes more sense. And I also heard this on the radio the other day. Let me ask you some
Can I
questions
put
before.
this down over here? It's kind of
Yeah, maybe we'll put it
making me
back.
tired.
Put it back up here.
Okay.
Maybe we'll move this a little bit closer to you. We want to make sure our sound quality is good.
Okay.
Okay, let's get this up closer to you. Maybe I'll just hold it up here. Okay, I have a couple of questions now. I've learned this new word, meeting. Meeting.
Meeting, when a lot of people get together?
Yeah.
Meeting.
Okay.
That's good.
Okay, but I've been hearing two different things. One is take a meeting and have a meeting. I'm confused.
We're going to take a meeting. We're going to have a meeting. I guess you could say either one. I think they usually say have a meeting. But you could say we're going to take a meeting. I guess either one's okay.
So then why, I also heard meeting out of your hand, a meeting out of your hand?
I don't know. I think you heard something wrong there. I don't know what that is.
A meeting out of your hand. She had a meeting out of her hand.
Say it again.
She had a meeting out of her hand.
Oh, that's something different. You got confused there. That's not. She had a meeting. She had them eating.
Oh, I see. Okay.
It's kind of it's like a. It doesn't really mean they were eating either. It's just kind of a way of saying she was in control.
Okay. Well, are the words then? Are the words meeting and eating related to
It's
each other?
completely different. It just fooled you because it sounds like it, but it's completely different.
Well, when people
Don't ever mix those two up.
but people sometimes meet to eat.
Well, I guess so.
Okay. Well, I'll kind of go on for that. I was curious about something else too. The greeting hi. When you say hi to somebody.
Hi, Dr. Jordan.
Hi, yeah. Okay, well, now you also have this saying, God on high.
Yeah.
Is there any kind of relationship there that you could think of? Because I was thinking that maybe originally...
I think that's a different kind of high.
It's a different kind of high? Is it like... Is it
It
like...
sounds the same, but it's not the same.
Okay.
Hi is like hello. And the other hi is like hi, up there.
Okay. Okay.
You understand?
Not really, but that's okay. I was thinking that maybe high could have been derived, that originally it came about as kind of a blessing, that people would say God on high to you, and over time it's contracted down to just high. Does that make...
Well, I guess, I don't know.
Okay. Well, Well, you know, we're getting some interesting things here. Let me look around a little bit more and see, you know, there were some other things I was thinking about. Okay, here, let's get this back. Let's see, there, okay. That's, you know...
It makes me a little nervous.
Well, maybe we'll move it over a little bit then. Okay.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. Let's see. I have another question here. I heard somebody say the clock radio went off, but then a few minutes later they said the clock.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, but then a few minutes later they said the clock radio came on.
Huh? Yeah, I guess that means the same thing. The radio came on. The radio went off.
But I thought on and off and came and went were opposites.
Yeah, usually. Radio came on, the radio went off. Because it goes off, you know, it's like it goes off, like the alarm goes off.
Okay.
Go off, it's like something that makes a loud noise suddenly.
Okay. So you can say the furnace went off, and it means the same thing as the furnace came on.
Oh no, there it's different. Furnace comes on, it makes it hot. When the furnace goes off, it's not making it hot anymore. It's like on and off, it's like on a little switch. You could say on and off. It's opposites. There it is anyway. I guess it kind of depends on the situation. Well, I hope our attempt to kind of show some of the problems that can come up in linguistic fieldwork was successful, at least partially. By the way, I forgot to introduce, I meant to introduce Linda before we started. This is Linda Jordan, who's one of our crew members on the Wordpath show, and also she's a graduate student in linguistics, so she's not Dr. Jordan yet, but we just kind of made her the stereotype Dr. So-and-so, the linguist. I want to thank you for helping out, Linda. And she was purposely asking some pretty irritating questions at times that kind of made me suffer. And I was kind of purposely saying things in such a way that she couldn't figure them out. You imagine if she didn't speak English, she wouldn't be able to make much sense out of some of what I said, because this is the kind of stuff that really comes up in fieldwork. It can be hard on both sides, and it takes a lot of patience on both sides. That's all the time we have for tonight, so join us next time on Wordpath.
Na hene yo hene, na hene yo hene, ana magwara kita, wa pene manaone kita. Na hene yo hene, na hene yo hene, ana magwara kita, wa pene manaone kita.